This is a Looney Studios podcast. Hello and welcome to Aerde Talks. I'm Hunter Looney, Game Master, and this show is here to dive deeper into the world of Aerde, which is traversed in Aerde Tales. I'm joined today by Leah, who plays Gamore, and Noah, who plays Salvazar. And today we'll be discussing the latest episode of Aerde Tales and the genus of Tipuas, which includes Will-o-Wisps, Kakamoras, Acephalis, and more. It's the weird category. It's all the jumbled up, crazy species. So, y'all just did a dungeon.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but y'all didn't. I pre-made this dungeon. All right, I pre-made what's in each room, and it's almost like you all had a roadmap to not fight anything.
Yeah,
It's just ridiculous. I split it up to about half puzzles, half fighting, and y'all just hit the puzzles.
I mean, I liked the puzzles. Honestly, it was different.
It was good to like stretch your legs and not have to fight things.
Yeah.
You got to use your clone, right, Noah? That was good.
That was, yeah. I think that room was my favorite. Definitely.
I enjoyed it to mess with y'all like I enjoy doing. So, but you passed out the first time you passed out.
Yeah, I did.
So that was an adventure. Were you worried?
I mean, yeah. Like, I thought... I think I had already had several damages, and then I had a big one, and I was like, oh, that is all of my health points. And then some, I think. And
I made it to where it was like, this dungeon was like this, to where y'all could end at any time, because your dad was playing with us, and we didn't know how long we were going to go playing, so, and that's why we ended where we were ending, because he was, like, we had to go, so, and I just wanted it to be one where we could take as long as we wanted to, and then be done with it. And it's not like when you had to go into the dungeon and get a key and then escape the dungeon and stuff. So I put a puzzle, well, not really a puzzle, a check right before you all entered the dungeon.
Check?
Remember y'all fell into that pit?
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
Pretty much to be a warning to you that, hey, things are going to mess with you and you should be careful.
Yeah, I was super annoyed by that.
Good. I like aggravating you all with stuff and trying to mess with y'all. If you all had... And I also knew if I put that armor at the end of the hallway, you all would be distracted by it and not thinking anything else is going to happen.
Yep. It worked.
Because you all seem enamored with the armor things.
Didn't roll a perception check, and then everything I did after that I did.
Yeah, because y'all just strolling up. When you don't do perception check, it's just like you're just like walking, not paying attention. And I mean, we've done that in our lives, right? You've walked and been like, I don't know what I just passed or anything. So
like when you're texting and walking.
And then you hit the cupboard.
You hit the cupboard? Yeah. It's just like pretty much when you zone out or you're just not worried about stuff.
I ran into a ladder hanging out of a truck one time while I was texting.
Oh, jeez. Jeez.
So your foot head never hit a leg part of a table.
It was like here. Chest. It was like high? Shoulder high, yeah.
How? Okay, how that? Because if you're texting, that's like in your line of sight when you're texting.
Okay, I didn't actually run into it, but that's where it would have hit me.
Okay.
Like, it was very close.
Um, I gave Meryl, or your dad's character, potions, and I'm glad I did. You all also had potions, but glad I did because he was able to like quickly revive you and stuff. And so,
I mean, I healed myself some too, right?
yeah, but he used 2 out of the 3 or something like that of his health potions.
Oh.
He had 3 of them, and he used them so that you wouldn't have to use your magic. You were worried you were going to have to, you would encounter something you were going to need magic for more. Alright, any other things about the dungeon that y'all wanted to touch on or think about?
No.
I don't think so.
Alright. We're going to talk about the Tipuas, which is the grouping of species that are pretty much just the catch-all for the weird ones. Quotations, weird ones. Like in your all's world, it's not that weird. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the Acephalis, which the easiest way to describe these is if you took somebody's shoulders and there was no head above that, and the head was in their chest. Like
terrifying? That's what you're saying?
That's terrifying to you? These are
really
like from folklore and stuff like that. So like no head or neck, and then the eyes and mouth are in the chest area.
Pretty much their torso is a head.
Yeah.
Yep. Terrifying.
Yeah. So, and these individuals average
You just remind me of Spy Kids, but with thumbs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Those were so disgusting. Ugh.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We'll bring up a picture for you later. But, yeah. No. These are about 4 foot high, average. So...
We've not met any of these yet, have we?
No, you haven't. Their average lifespan is about 50 years old. They all are present outwardly as male and stuff. All right, so the next one, this one might be a little weirder for you, Leah. These are the Aigamuxas, which have eyes in the bottom of their feet and no eyes up top.
No, I think the head as a torso thing is still even weirder than that, to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So they averaged 4'2", and their average lifespan is also around 50 years old. But they're vaguely humanoid, but they don't have eyes on their faces. They have eyes on the bottom of their feet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
So the next ones are the Kakamoras, which were taken and used in Moana. You know, the ones that were in the little like coconut shells and stuff like that. That's what they called them in that, but that's not what traditionally they are in folklore. They are generally individuals who like to partake in eating other people.
Great.
So these particular version of Kakamoras are 2'4", and their average lifespan is 40 years old. And the technical word for eating people flesh is anthropophagy. So yeah, these are much like sirens. You know, the ones that are what are called mermaids and other things, where they have bottom half of a fish. Sirens in this world also eat people flesh. So, most of them.
Lovely.
There could be vegetarians, like that, or ones that will eat other types of meat.
Kind of like the vegetarian vampires.
Yeah.
I mean, they still drink blood, but not from live humans.
So in my random internet dives, there's been other speculations about what if somebody had the specific needs of a vampire, of what you would get out of blood and stuff like that, how they could do that without getting blood. And one of them is coconut milk, because in a bind-ish, you can use that to as a blood transfusion temporarily. And stuff. So, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
And haven't fully researched it.
Do not try this at home.
Don't try it at home, and it might not be 100% true. But, yeah. Alright, so we've got two more in this grouping, and one of them's the Will-o-Wisps, which are a foot tall, and they pretty much look like their bodies look kind of like, they have feet, they have hands and stuff like that, but they hover, and their heads glow and stuff like that. They generally live in woods and stuff like that, so if you see what looks like a lantern just hovering off in the distance, kind of moving up and down and stuff, it's these individuals, the Will-o-Wisps, that are just going about their business.
Cool.
Yeah, they generally live to be about 45-ish, and they're a foot tall. Well, they hover, so I guess they would be higher. Alright, the last one is called Zukas, and these are individuals that are either pumpkin or other gourd-headed people. Body looks like a human, head...
So their head could be a squash?
Yeah, or a pumpkin, and any type of gourd and stuff. So, but they, and also a cool thing about these guys, their average height is 5'6", average lifespan is 57, and they're photosynthetic. So they just go take a sunbathing, and they get their nutrients that they need. They don't have to eat. They could,
if they want,
but it's not. Their body's not going to love it. But that is the kind of catch-all grouping of species that are just a little bit different than the other ones. So they're all grouped together there. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Aerde Talks. On the next episode of Aerde Talks, we'll dive deeper into the sentient species of Aerde, specifically the genus of mutars, which includes liches, vampires, and werewolves. Alright, let's take care of some housekeeping. Our adventures encounter magical items, and I want to invite everyone to visit patreon.com/Looney Studios. The link is in the description. And on the front page, there's a link to a Google form where anyone can submit an idea for a magical item. Anyone can do this, you don't have to be a patron. And you can do it anonymously or put your name or username to it to receive credit if we use it. Please add to this list. We love seeing the magical items that people make. And also, while you're there, please check out the Looney Studios Patreon. If you become a patron, you gain access to the podcast early, among other perks. And speaking of Patreon, I want to thank all our patrons. Thank you for supporting Looney Studios and Aerde Tales. And Looney Studios can be found at looneystudios.com and at the social media platforms listed in the description. Please give a review on your favorite podcasting site, like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and submit magical items on our Patreon. The Looney family hopes that you have a wonderful day. That was a Looney Studios podcast.